Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of the Happiest Cast on Earth, the show where we review anything and everything that was somehow released by the Walt Disney Corporation. I'm your host, as always, Ryan Johnson. Joining me today on the show once again is Sean Maxwell.
Hello, Campus Beautiful. How are we today?
Well, I'm feeling awesome hearing that beautiful voice of yours.
Okay, so you're answering on behalf of the whole Campus Beautiful?
I am Concord University. I think we know this.
Oh, yeah, if you haven't had the pleasure of meeting Ryan in person yet, he's actually just a mountain lion. Straight, he's the guy in the mountain lion costume. Dude.
I am Mountain Ryan Johnson.
Amen. Dude, we were at the I'm in the band here at Concord. You know that, the people on the radio may not, but we had the opportunity to go down to the Welch Veterans Day Parade, as we always do. It's a great parade. If you have the opportunity to go to it, you definitely should. The people of Welch are so caring. But we had the opportunity to go down there, and the cheerleaders were with us, and so was Roar. And the people in the band kept telling me, "Yo, Sean, you should go take Roar's head off, just to see who's like underneath the uniform." And unfortunately, there was a lot of kids around. But I wasn't going to do it, but I had a very good opportunity to do it. And honestly, it might have been the crowning achievement of college for me, if it would have happened. If it would have happened.
To demask Roar.
Demask Roar, baby.
I don't think I ever want to know whose Roar is.
I don't know. I kind of assume that it's someone different, like every game, though.
I think for me, it's more fun to just assume that like Roar is just a mountain lion just kind of walking around.
Yeah, I guess I get that.
I don't want to go to Disneyland and want to unmask Goofy.
Yeah, dude. I'm into college football, and I kept seeing these I think it was the Oregon Ducks. Their mascot just falling when he's running out on the field, and just his head falls off, and he's just got to run back into the tunnel. It's hilarious, but in a really kind of cursed way. Anyways, Ryan, I think that's enough mascot talk, at least for me.
All right. Speaking of mascots, we're about to talk about something that has absolutely nothing to do with mascots.
Amen.
And that is the 2002 sports drama Undisputed, released by Miramax. Now, Sean, have you had any prior experience with this motion picture right over here?
No, I'd never heard of it. Honestly, looking at the list of actors, I don't really recognize a lot of these actors. There's some.
Yeah,
Wesley Snipes, yeah, but
the only actors in this entire cast that I recognized was Wesley Snipes. And the guy who played Iceman, yes, that's the character's name.
Ving Rhames?
Yeah, I didn't know his name or really his face off the top of my head, but I recognized the voice, and that's because he's the voice of Bubbles in Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
that's cool. That
is actually pretty sick.
I'm not familiar enough. I'm good with voices. I'm not familiar enough with Lilo and Stitch. It's been I need to rewatch Lilo and Stitch. I know I've watched it, but it was in children's church when I was 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe it might show up on the Wheel of Names, although probably not, because the next 5 weeks will all be holiday episodes.
Oh, you're gonna keep doing it during the break?
Oh, heck yeah, we're gonna keep doing this during the break. Not here in the studio, but definitely somewhere in my basement.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, Undisputed. Yeah, it's a Miramax film, which means it was produced by the Weinsteins, but we don't have to get into that because I didn't see their name in the credits. So
doesn't mean it wasn't released by Disney though.
Hi. It was released by Disney because it was Miramax. I saw.
Oh
Miramax
no, that's what I said.
Oh, you did.
It's just. I mean, I'm not saying what he did was right, but it was released by Disney. That's all I can say about that.
Disney is an evil corporation, and we all know this. But anyway,
We had this conversation right before we started. Bro, Disney's going to come for us, bro.
Just want to clarify something. I thought that Predator Badlands was really good. Okay, I thought that was a cool movie. I haven't seen Marvel Zombies, but I'm sure it's good. I'm seeing Zootopia 2 next weekend.
Oh, that's
okay, yeah, we're gonna. Yeah. Please.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was really good.
Yeah. Also, the live-action remakes are terrible. But anyway, with that being said, we will be right back with our thoughts on Undisputed. And you can probably already tell, given how we've been talking about absolutely anything but this film, that there may or may not be that much to talk about.
If you're looking to get your fix on everything Concord University, visit the new and approved Concord website. There, you'll find everything that's happening around campus, plus school news and course information. And if you're a high school student looking for an application, career information, and housing, we have that for you too. So if you want to become a member of the Mountain Lion family, visit Concord University's new website, concord.edu. That's concord.edu.
And now, our feature presentation.
Alrighty, beautiful folks. Welcome back to the show.
Gosh.
Let's talk about Undisputed. So, Undisputed, parentheses, 2002, close parentheses, is a sports drama about a man who calls himself Iceman.
Iceman.
Even though this is 40 years after the X-Men character was created.
Yeah.
You think he has it trademarked? You think he has that name trademarked?
What, Iceman?
Yeah.
It's probably... Yeah, it probably is, but it's not a superhero, so it probably doesn't infringe on the trademark.
He is... But, you know, like... I don't know. I feel like at some point Marvel probably, like, trademarked the Iceman name because he's, like, an X-Men character.
I don't know. Marvel made weird decisions. That's why they got bought out.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's almost entirely owned by Disney, except for, like, Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, well, the only thing, like, Spider-Man related that Disney doesn't own are the movie rights. So
Do they own the character, just not the movie rights?
they own the characters.
Oh,
They do own all the characters and all the stuff that you
Yeah.
can do them. They just don't own the movie rights. Like, they own, like, the exclusive television and merchandise rights.
Okay.
Like, even for, like, movies that Disney didn't help out and assisted, like Beyond the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, like Disney still makes money off the merchandise, which is crazy.
That makes sense, I suppose. I mean, I know they have had weird run-ins with Sony in the past.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk about Spider-Man. We're here to talk about a movie with Blade, oddly enough. So, Undisputed, if it opens with what I can only describe as the most early 2000s opening shot I could ever think of, because of so much flashing lights and all of this stuff. You know, I'm just gonna go right out and just say it off the bat. I think this movie sucks.
I agree. I don't
this
think
is-
it's very good.
This movie was. I hesitate to say like abysmal, but like I don't think any sane person would tell you that this was a enjoyable movie-going experience.
No, and I mean, somehow it did spin off. I think there's 4 of these movies, but
there are 3 sequels.
yeah, so 4.
And like none of the actors came back for any of them because they were all like direct-to-video,
Yeah.
and they were all made by New Line Cinema for some reason, even though.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't do good, and it's theatrical release. Is that what you would call it for movies? But
Yeah.
yeah, it didn't do very good in that. I was looking at some of the reviews, and like I think the highest review I'm seeing is a 6.1 on IMDb.
Oh.
Um,
And also has a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. So exactly only half the people who saw this film liked it.
yeah, that's always actually 2.9 out of 5 is the highest. That's on Letterboxd. Anyways, not great.
Yeah, so like it opens with this boxing match at a prison, and immediately you're just like, why are they letting a bunch of prisoners fight each other?
That was real. That was real random. And like, I don't know if this is actually based on like I don't know if the state of California had a prisoner boxing sort of thing, but it was real random. I mean, that's our first introduction to Marone Hutchin. He's fighting. All I remember is a guy had a swastika tattoo.
Oh, I didn't even see that. That was
Yeah.
insane. So like, basically, Wesley Snipes plays this guy named Marone, who's the undisputed boxing champion in prison.
Yes.
So
He was also like a
not a real champion,
no. Yeah.
but his title is eventually like it's challenged when a real heavyweight boxing champion is coming into prison, who goes by the name Iceman. Played by the guy who does the voice of Bubbles from Lilo and Stitch.
Ving Rhames.
Yeah, Ving Rhames. And the reason he's in there is because he got convicted of raping his wife.
No, it wasn't his wife. It was a girl at a party, I think.
You're right.
I literally watched this movie like an hour ago.
Yeah. Basically, he's convicted of rape, but he insists that it was consensual, but the woman says otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Iceman, he just has major rage issues. You can... Basically, every time somebody tries to, like, befriend him or even, God forbid, try to, like, help him out with the case against this lady, he really isn't proving his point very well because he is a very angry and aggressive fellow, which makes for a good boxer, but not a good person to communicate with, really. So, but I feel like right off the back with like this opening sequence and this prologue and everything like that, the biggest problem with the entire movie is immediately present. This editing is abysmal.
The editing is very funky.
Why do we keep reviewing prison movies with bad editing?
I don't know. I mean, the other one, I mean, comparatively, I mean, this movie looks like... I mean, this movie makes the other movie... Crap, what was that movie called?
He Got Game.
He Got Game by Spike Lee joint. But honestly, that movie, comparatively to this, like, it looks like Interstellar. Like, that movie had some semblance of... Like, the editing, it didn't feel out of place, just I thought it was edited weirdly. This, just the editing feels out of place. And so does some of the cinematography. I don't know, like...
Yes, some of the scenes are shot so non-cinematically, which makes sort of sense. Because there are a couple scenes where, like, oh, it's a news broadcast, and you're seeing it from, like, the point of view. But, like, during, like, this, like, news interview clip, we're seeing, like, fade to black transitions from the news clip into, like, the exact same shot.
Mm-hmm. And just, like, random, like... It's like they're meant to be, like, camera flashes, I think. Like, just flashes of white.
Yes, there's so many random flashes to white in this film.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is edited... It feels like it's edited by a fourth grader who just discovered iMovie for the first time.
I wouldn't go that far, but I get what you're saying. It's just like it's very, it doesn't help the story. It doesn't flow with the story.
No, like I think probably the biggest editing error that really just grinded my gears was the scene like in like the food fight scene where like all the prisoners are being riled up. This is skipping way ahead into the movie, but it's like it's a really bad editing decision where like the guards have to come in and they shoot the light and like the light bursts into flame, and then after that it's a fade to white. The problem is you already see like the lights kind of like gimmer, and then it starts to fade to white, and then the white, when it fades to white, it just cuts to black a little bit instead of transitioning into the next scene.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like almost like they left spaces for commercial breaks in this, which is weird because this is not a straight to TV movie. This had a theatrical release. Like if it was a straight to TV movie, yeah, okay.
Like insert breaks for the commercial. Like we've discussed a few TV movies here on the show, some Disney Channel films, but this wasn't a TV movie. This was in theaters, and it's there's so many scenes that are edited like a bad music video.
Mm-hmm.
So many scenes that just cut off at the most random elements. Just like, a character will be mid conversation that just flashes to white.
Yeah, and bad editing can be very charming, and I don't think the editors are entirely to blame for this. I think it just kind of reveals a bigger issue with the whole plot line, and that it's not a very charming plot line, and the characters aren't particularly likable. At least that was a big issue that I had. I couldn't.
Yeah, like these characters are just not fun to be around. Like like obviously there's like they're in prison, so naturally their chances are they're not good people. But like I feel like when you do have like a movie like this, or even like Shawshank Redemption, where like the main characters are like criminals, you have to make them likable in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
You have to give the audience like a reason to root for them.
Yeah.
This movie does not. The fighters in this film are both just completely unlikable. Like Iceman is just angry at everything all the time,
Mm-hmm.
picking up random fights with just about everyone in the prison. He's constantly insistent that he didn't do it, but constantly doing it in the most aggressive manner possible. Where if you were to see that man in just about any situation in real life, you'd think, oh, he totally freaking did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I've experienced the exact same situation. I won't give away names, but I've experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, my lord.
Yeah, and then Wesley Snipes' character, Marone Hutchin, is not exactly much better. Like, he's meant to be the underdog of the story, right? But he's not likable enough to be an actual underdog. Like, I never found myself rooting for him. I actually found myself kind of rooting against him because honestly, during the storyline, I found we see so much more of Iceman than we see of Hutchin. Like,
Yeah, and like Hutchin is technically supposed to be like,
he's supposed to be the protagonist.
yeah, like he's played by the big star. He gets top billing everywhere. He's the first character we really see, and it's his turf that's getting invaded.
Yes.
This movie can't really decide on like who the POV character should be.
That's another issue. That's actually, I think that's honestly one of the biggest editing flaws.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's just like, it basically they trade scenes, like Iceman gets like one scene, then Hutchin gets the next scene, but instead these characters aren't on the same side. They're opposition. And that can work well. You do need to understand your villain, but the thing is, the villain doesn't seem like a villain either, right?
And there is this film, I forget the name of it, where Sylvester Stallone and Robert De Niro are like retired fighters, and they come out of retirement to do a fight, where it's Rocky versus Raging Bull basically. And I haven't seen the film, but like from what I gather through general culture, you do kind of get to know them both on an equal playing field. But I think the big problem with this movie is that they're in the same location. They're in the same location, so like they have plenty of time to like have like altercations, but they just don't. And it's really just at the fault of the editing at the end of the day. Because I kid you not, like the editing is so bad. I had to look up plot summaries just to realize what is happening. And I was paying attention to the film. Taking my notes. I got the notes right here. And like, so if I have to look up what's happening in a movie, that's just number one sign of bad storytelling.
Yeah. It's like I said, like it's edited in such a way you don't know who to root for. Like that's what makes an underdog story good.
Yeah, like
There is something to root for in the underdog. You know, like
in Rocky, like why do we root for Rocky? You know, he's down on his luck. He doesn't have the best life, and he's going up against the undisputed champion. So naturally, with him being down on his luck, not being necessarily the best, we want to see him train and work his hardest to beat the champ.
exactly.
This film, like both the characters are champions in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody's really an underdog in this scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not going to give it away here. We're going to talk about it later. And, you know, a person who wins is the champion. It's like the previous champion. So, what the heck, man? Like,
Yeah. I don't know if the stakes were high enough for either character.
no, like none of this is going to... Because, like, this is all like a prison fight, essentially. Because, like, for whatever reason, they think it's a good idea to have, like, this big boxing match in prison.
Yeah. Which, like, that was a nice ring. How much did they spend on that ring, bro?
Yeah, like, and, like, they get like, some friggin' chorus group, like, a 4-man, like, rap group to sing the national anthem.
Yeah, except they don't sing it right. They
like,
also sing it in 4/4 instead of 3/4.
Yeah, and...
Which is music thing. Never mind. We'll go. That's not something important. But
yeah, and they don't even... I don't even think they sing the right words.
the second verse, I think they changed up.
To make it more prison appropriate or something.
Yeah, and that's another thing I had with this movie. I feel like half of the plot was just bad prison tropes or bad gang tropes.
Yeah, like, it's all just a bunch of... Like, if you guys wanted, I don't know, Shawshank Redemption to be the most cliche movie ever made, then
Yeah.
have Undisputed at your disposal. Here, we have it for you. We got... we got a bunch of very strong fighting men, very angry. You want a taste of that? Very tasty. Ooh, have a cliche sandwich. Very nice. We might as well have a bunch of flashy editing. You too, at this very very nice seasoning on top. Very 2000s, very 2002 specifically. And that's another thing. This is the type of movie that could only come out in 2002.
Yeah,
Like very specifically 2002.
Yeah, this thing would not. I mean, granted, the film industry is very different now. We don't have physical media in the same way.
I mean, it still does.
But it's not prevalent in the same way that it was in like 2002. You know, like a movie like this, the reason they were able to make 3 sequels of this was because it was actually pretty successful on home theater or home media releases.
Yeah, like it made money on DVDs because this was a bomb at the box office. The budget was between 15 to 20 million. It made 14.9 million worldwide.
It's like nothing. Like, you know,
Yeah, they got 3 sequels out of it, direct to home video, which wasn't even made by the same production company. So that should...
It wasn't, but they were. I mean, the second one was obviously successful enough for them to make a third and then a fourth. So I mean, like that's why we don't see movies like this anymore. That's why we don't see, like, yeah, we see movies that flop. Don't get me wrong, but we don't see movies like this anymore. We also, like, I think of something like, oh my goodness, what's the movie with Michael Cera and
Scott Pilgrim.
And Jonah Hill?
Scott Pilgrim. Wait, Jonah Hill. Oh, Superbad.
Superbad. Superbad wouldn't be made today.
Well, I feel like Superbad would be made today. It just probably wouldn't be like
maybe a Netflix
a
movie.
big theater release.
Yeah.
Although we are kind of starting to get a bit of a comeback of smaller movies coming to the big screen again because
That's because the big theaters big companies are kind of flopping.
Yeah, because like, you know, a bunch of the indie movies are making smaller indie companies like A24 and Neon are of course making small movies, but even, you know, the big studios, they're taking risks on smaller movies again. Like the Naked Gun reboot was a big success, even though it is an IP. But it's even if it was IP or not, it would have been. It would normally in this day and age be a straight to streaming release. Same thing with the Freaky Friday sequel, IP. But let's face it, that type of movie, regardless on IP or not, would have gone straight to streaming.
Yeah,
usually.
absolutely.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take a quick little break, and when we come back, we're going to discuss the ending of the feature, the big old fights, and our final thoughts on the film, of course, so stay tuned for that.
If you're a Concord University student feeling overwhelmed with classes, or you just need someone to talk to about personal matters, Concord University offers free counseling services. The Counseling Center is located on the third floor of the Jerry and Jean Beasley Student Center, in rooms 321 to 325. If you would like to make an appointment to see a counselor, call 304-384-5290 or email counseling@concord.edu. Sign up today.
Enjoying the variety of music that WVCU has to offer? Well, do we have something in store for you? You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram now. There you can find polls, chat with some of the DJs, and find out about showtimes and other WVCU events coming up, including contests. Just look up WVCU Radio and connect with us today. WVCU, on air and online, connecting with you.
Alrighty, welcome back to the show.
Boy.
Are you ready?
As ready as I'm going to be.
Okay, so let's go ahead and discuss the ending of this wonderful feature film that we call Undisputed.
Yep.
So the fight happens.
Yes.
We go to the fight, and there's this really bad rendition of the national anthem.
As we already talked about.
It's it's funny with the national anthem in particular, because you're just wondering why did they think this was a good idea? Both in the context of the universe and while making the movie. Let's have a hip hop rewrite off-key version of the national anthem.
Yeah.
Towards the end of this movie,
it was
right before the climax.
Very and it wasn't just like the beginning of the national anthem. It was the whole thing. I think they just were like, man, we need to make sure this thing's over an hour and a half. Let's just add this. I feel like that's something that in a lot of films would have been left on the cutting room floor. It would have just been been cut out, and no one would have talked about it.
Another indicator of this movie's really bad editing, because, dear Lord, was that the longest hour and a half of my life?
It was a long.
How can you make a 93-minute movie feel like it's 2 hours?
Yeah. And I think honestly our conversation about this reflects a lot about this movie. To the listeners who are paying very close attention, you might have realized we've gone off topic about 5 different times, and not just a teeny bit. We've gone way off topic, and that's just because there is so little to talk about in this movie.
Yeah, this movie is so bad that there's nothing to it.
Yeah, and honestly, even the basic idea of the plot, I don't think the plot idea itself is bad, but it's just kind of unoriginal. Yeah, now, I mean, granted, I'm looking at it 23 years past, but knowing what has come out before.
It's just a boxing movie set in prison.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
What's really different about the plot between this and something like Rocky?
If you wanted Rocky to be set in Shawshank Redemption, here you go.
Yeah, it's just it's prison movie, but with a lot less of the prison movie tropes. Meet boxing movie with
a lot of the boxing tropes.
Yeah.
So yeah, the boxing match happens, and like we mentioned earlier, since there's no underdog, the heavyweight champ of the prison ends up winning the match.
Yes. The guy who's supposed to be the underdog is the one who wins.
Mm-hmm. when he's not really the underdog.
Yeah, but he's who the plot sets up to be the underdog. At least that's how I interpret it. Like, the plot wants him to be the underdog, but he's not likable enough to be the underdog.
It's funny because, like, when I watched the movie, I didn't get that. I didn't see the fact that this guy is supposed to be the underdog because they keep setting him up as, like, the king of the prison.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is my house. Like, this is your house, man.
Yeah. Which I didn't see that until the very end of the movie. I was like, oh, wait. I didn't see that until the fight scene. Like, the first 2 rounds were... I assume we don't care about spoiling the ending of this movie. This movie is 23 years old.
Plus, we always spoil movies on this show.
I mean, that's kind of the nature of it. But, you know, like, the first 2 rounds were won by Iceman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then
Like,
I think he won out after that. Monroe won out after that.
Monroe only wins on, like, a technicality, too.
Yeah,
so, like,
because Iceman got disqualified, I think, right?
Yeah, like I think he should... Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got, like, knocked out or something like that. Like, so, like, he was incapable of winning, so he just... Yeah, they only win just because they killed each other to death. So, like...
That's... Yeah. So that's honestly how I figured out he was set up to be the underdog. Because earlier in the story, it's just kind of like... Like, yeah, there's some character details that can maybe give it away. Monroe had not... had been in prison for about 10 years at this point. And he was an up-and-coming prospect. He was not at the same... He was not fighting in the same level that Iceman was fighting at. Iceman was actually, like, fighting at the professional level. So, like, if this is, like, the NBA or something, like...
I think that Monroe and Iceman's roles should have been flipped.
I kind of agree with you.
It should, like, you don't even... I feel like... First of all, I think having one person be, like, an actual, like real business, like, heavyweight boxer, I don't know. That just feel like it kind of wouldn't work for me.
Yeah.
I feel like Iceman's role should be flipped, where, like, he's, like, a big fighter in the prison. And then Monroe comes in, he maybe works out a little bit, but, like, you know, he's just a prisoner coming in.
Yeah.
We don't... So
know.
like... And so, you know, something happens, and he's up against this fight. And so he becomes the underdog, and he needs to try and fight this big fighter in prison.
Mm-hmm.
It would add further stakes, because it's not just 2 queens going up against each other. It's the actual underdog versus the champion.
Yeah, because, like, right now, it's like...
I mean, like...
I don't know. It's like if, like, if like, the best player in the NBA went up against, like, a good G League player. Yeah. Like, I know you don't know a ton about basketball, but, like...
I mean, it's like...
there's not an underdog. It's just kind of...
It's like a dog eating its own tail.
Almost. It's like... I don't know. It's like if a 20-year-old beat up, like, a 14-year-old. Like, yeah, the 20-year-old's the jerk, but it's like... The 14-year-old's not exactly an underdog.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's literally like that iCarly clip where the guy obsessed with winning everything starts participating in children's wrestling just so he could always win.
Yeah, except that guy's actually a jerk and the children are... I don't know. I don't think we're doing it... I'm getting weird static. I don't think we're actually doing a very good job at explaining this, but it's...
I don't care.
I don't know.
This movie doesn't deserve...
It doesn't.
To be, if it was... I feel like if it was more well made, or even if it was more interesting bad, made like more interesting bad decisions. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But, like, you know, there's a reason the Rotten Tomatoes rating for this movie is, like, right dab in the middle. Not because it's, like, okay, but simply because it's horrible. Because it's so boring and bland and, like...
Yeah, it's very boring.
With, like, the only true aspect of this film that is, like, oh, absolutely abysmal, horrible, why would you think that was a good idea, being the editing.
Yeah.
The editing, without a doubt, is what kills this movie. Because, I will admit, we have been we have said absolutely nothing but bad things about this movie, but I will admit some of the performances are okay.
Yeah, I would say the performances aren't actually that bad.
I mean,
The cinematography and the editing, it doesn't help their performances. So I think their performances kind of get like coated in this like layer of like mediocrity. You know, have you ever had like pasta, or like you ever had like a meatloaf or something, and like the meatloaf's
I hate meatloaf.
Okay, well, have you ever had like I don't know, like a hamburger or something, and like
Hamburger.
the hamburger itself's really good, but then they put this like kind of gross sauce on it. It's like that kind of ruins it. That's kind of what this is. Like there's this layer of like mediocrity up over this whole film because of the editing and videography. And honestly, I don't think Wesley Snipes or any of these guys were involved in the writing of their characters.
No.
So like, you know, these characters, the characters are boring. Like an actor can only do so. Like Ryan's the actor in the room, but an actor can only do so much with a character.
Yeah, like an actor's job, speaking from an actor experience, like an actor's job is mainly just find the humanity in their character, do their own research, and do what they're told.
Yeah.
Because like there are plenty of actors who are able to elevate a bad script.
Yeah.
Like if you know, for instance, like if Jim Carrey's in a role, you know, okay, he's gonna take this to 11% when the role was only worth a 7.
Yeah.
So,
but also, you know, with a person like Jim Carrey, like you ride around Jim Carrey.
oh yeah,
You know, like I mean, no diss to any of these guys. I mean, they're professional actors. I mean,
Yeah, like-
they're accomplished people.
I mean,
But they're not. Jim Carrey's not in this movie. Like, you know.
Well, Jim Carrey was just being used as like an example.
But
it's like,
that's what I'm saying.
you
But
know,
like,
but you know, obviously, no ill to Wesley Snipes. I mean, how can I stay mad at the man who did White Men Can't Jump?
come on, freaking
But-
Blade. Like, come on.
Yeah, Blade. Like, I wasn't going to mention Blade because I already mentioned Blade several times throughout this episode.
I haven't
but-
mentioned Blade yet. That's my turn.
Oh, okay. Everyone gets at least 4 Blade references.
Blade,
per
Blade.
episode. There you go. But you know, the movie, it's really all this movie was. Let's be honest, it was a paycheck for everybody. Nobody really put that much effort into it, except to maybe the actors, really. But they don't really. This material is below them, and they know it.
Yeah.
It was just a check. So, yeah, Undisputed, more like Undisputed.
Underfinished. It needed another 20 minutes in the oven. You know,
Yeah.
because
It
like
needed-
I think there's so much potential in this movie, and I think that's one of the things that frustrates me, because I don't think the plot inherently is bad. I don't think the concept of the plot is inherently bad.
Yeah.
Everyone likes an underdog story. There's always space in the media for underdog stories, but you underbaked your characters.
Yeah,
You know, Monroe is not compelling as an underdog. Iceman is not compelling as a villain. The people around them, honestly, the character I like the most was the Mexican not cartel, the Mexican mafia guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Which
the guy
Mexican
was-
mafia is that a thing?
I'm-
I guess I don't know. I don't.
It might be.
Maybe
I
the
don't
cartel didn't
know.
exist in 2002. I'm not really sure about any of that stuff. I can't remember what the guy's name was, but that was honestly my favorite character in the whole movie because he was likable. He was likable. I don't think a lot of the other characters were likable. And Fisher Stevens, Ratbag, I also liked him. But he was kind of charming. Kind of. But like, you know, like he wouldn't have been a standout. His character would not have been a standout character if the antagonist and the protagonist would have been written well. They just weren't, and they weren't defined well. As I already said, they were not. it took me legit amount of time to figure out who the antagonist and the protagonist was. And it wasn't in like one of those like cool twist ways. There wasn't a twist in the film.
No.
It
It just wasn't written well, and it had abysmal editing
Mm-hmm.
that took up the grand majority of this conversation simply because of how bad it was.
We also are both editors. that also helps. But overall,
So we're about at that point of the show, but I do want to quickly talk about the director. You want to know some films that he directed before this?
sure.
Well, he was primarily a writer on films such as the Alien franchise,
Oh.
but also he directed 48 Hours and The Warriors. So that's a bit of a downgrade, don't you think?
Yeah, 48 Hours. One of the best movies of the 80s. The Warriors. That was 70s, I believe.
Yes. So, with all of that being said, I think the question has to remain, Sean, on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rank Undisputed?
I don't know, like 1.5. Like, there's some redeeming qualities. I don't think it's like an inherently horrible movie, but it's boring. Like, it's background noise. Like, this is a type of movie that I would have on if I'm like cleaning my bedroom or something. You know, this is not something this is not something I'm ever gonna sit down and watch again.
Yeah, I'd probably give it like 1.5, really. There's just nothing to it, really.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, that will be it for this week's episode of the Happiest Cast on Earth. Sean, thank you so much for coming on to the show once
Absolutely.
again. Do you have anything you'd like to plug?
No, tomorrow. Actually, no, I missed one of my radio broadcasts. I need to make one of those up. But I'm on, if you want more of me, I'm on the radio here. Be tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Ryan will be sitting in the room possibly.
Might come on for a little chat or two during
maybe,
break.
maybe.
Maybe not.
But other than that, when's our choir concert?
December 2nd.
December 2nd. Be at the Fine Arts Building. I think it's at 6 p.m.
Yeah, 6
A
p.m.
little choir concert. Carillon. Hey, did you know there's only like 800 carillons in the world, and Concord University has one of them?
Wow.
Crazy. That's actually like legitimately like insane
That
because
is
carillons are like
insane.
That's like, actually crazy. This is the only one in the state as well. So you should come out and hear it play more than the da 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 da. You know, come out and hear it play more than what it plays every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that's all I have.
Alrighty. And also, please, if you guys are watching this on any streaming platforms, please be sure to subscribe and share the show. And please be sure to join us next week for a very special Thanksgiving episode discussing the Thanksgiving episode of the Playhouse Disney show Johnny and the Sprites, Sprites Giving. But until then, I will see you later. Bye.